Welcome to the 401k project. You really need to read the instructions for this project before you get started here. Okay, I modified the instructions a little bit, updated them to make it a little more simple. In cell A1, we are going to give this a name. A good name for this is retirement fund. If you have a misspelling, you can see it's underlined in red. Just right click on it, choose the correct spelling. Underneath there, we are going to put our name, our student name, and underneath there, kind of like MLA, we're going to put our section number, CIS 101 section. I think we are 48334. We're going to skip a line, and then we're going to start our heading detail. I tell you in step number Step number 5, okay, that you should put date, total fund value, and I'm just hitting the right arrow keys to go over here, but it's not working, so let's try this again. Let me click back in here again. Date, right arrow key, total fund value, principal added. My keyboard is sticking here a little bit. Interest earned, and the interest rate. You can put these in any orders you want, but because of what we're working with, it's nice to have like items next to each other. If these for some reason don't come out to be the right size, these are overwritten on each other, and you can't see. A lot of times by default these columns could be wider. You see the red arrows? To make these all fit correctly, highlight the rows that apply, and then just double click any of the lines between the letters, and it'll make them as wide as you need to make them. So once we have this information, next thing we should do is save this. Click on File, Save As. The file name is last name underscore first name underscore section number underscore 401k, and it'll be either a .ods or XLS type file, and it should be in your CIS 101 folder where you know it, so you can find it. That do is take the retirement and center it. If we, like I said, my mouse is sticking here a little bit. I think I need new batteries. If we select the cells representing the width of this and we right click this, there is a merge cells. Now you have to be pointed to the cells that you selected. When you right click, you merge the cells. It says should they be moved into the first cell? No. Okay. And then if you click the center icon, just like on your word processor, that is now centered up there. Next thing we want to do is we want to lock in the titles. We want to freeze these top 5 rows. So place your mouse, and wherever you place your mouse, all the rows above it and all the columns to the left of it will be frozen. Columns to the left don't matter here. All we want is the rows above it. So we click Window, Freeze. You will see the line, and now as I scroll through these numbers, the top items, headings, don't move. Alright, let's start entering data. I tell you to start with 4/1/14 for the first date. Need to change the format on that. Now we need to change the format on all the dates. We don't know how many it is, but once we start to copy and paste, it won't matter, but we should at least select the first few cells. We want to make these all look like a different type of date format. So select the range, right click, format cell, choose date. My instructions say all I want is the 3-digit month and the 2-digit year. We don't see anything exactly like that, but we can make it. Okay. The M's are for the month, the Y's are for the years. With 3 months, it will give you the 3-digit abbreviation. Instead of writing out the whole month of December like you did up here, you need 4 M's. Okay. We don't want the days, we want the 2 digits for the year. And there's an example. I'll show December 99. That's user defined. We say OK. And there we have it. As we go through here, we need to increment the month from April to May to June, July. There's only one real way to do it. You could say, well, I'll just add 30 days to each one, and then that'll be in the next month. The days that have 31 months, it won't be. Some of the months have 29 days, some have 28 days. So there's a better way to do it. My instructions talk about the date function. Okay. All the functions, like all the formulas, start with the equal sign. With the equal date function, it's in parentheses, and you have to provide a year, a month, and a day. We're talking about the year, the month, and the day of the cell above it up here in A6. So this is going to be the year first of A6, and we have to put A6 in parentheses, and then you can see it's separated by a comma, and then we put the month of A6 in a comma and the day of A6. Okay? And then we need our closing parentheses. It's a math thing. Now this should give us the exact same day, and we don't want that. We want to increment it by 1 month. So here for the month of A6, all we have to do is say the month of A6 plus 1. Whatever the month is, 4. It'll increment it by 1, 5. It will now say May. And at this point, we can copy and paste this down here just to see how it looks, and it looks like it's working. Okay, good time to save it again. Next thing we have to do, retirement fund. We were supposed to have made this bigger, chosen a different font that stands out, and chosen a different font color, like VVC Burgundy, which I don't even know if they have, but that's close enough. Okay. Now the next thing we have to start entering are numbers. We start with nothing, but the first month we do add $25. And the interest rate initially is at 3% a year. Okay, 3% is put as 0.03. That's for the whole year. For 1 month, we divide that by the number of months, 12, and the interest rate for this month is 25% of 1%, essentially. Can't tell that by the numbers. However, because that is a percentage, you need to make it look like a percentage. Up here at the top is a format that says make it look like, format it like a percentage, and when I click on that, oh yeah, there it is. And then these 3 cells here are going to always be currencies. They're going to have dollars and cents. So we highlight these 3 cells and tell it make these look like currency. Okay. The amount of interest earned is how much we started with, how much we added, and what the interest rate is multiplied by that. So here it is, equals B6 plus C6 times E6, the interest rate. Some of you that have had math might have recognized that's not going to work right. If we do that, it might look right, but it won't work right in other months. What we need to do is do the math before the multiplication. So we need to include the math in parentheses to do that first. Okay. Now again, it looks the same here, 0.06, but it won't once we have other values started. All right. For the next month, the total fund value is going to be equals to whatever we started with plus whatever we added plus whatever we earned. So it's going to be equal to B plus C plus D. Okay. So now we start out with $25.06. Each month we're going to add another $25, but my instructions said to use relative formulas, not numbers. So that means that this is not 25, it's equals to what we put in last month, okay, which is C6. Same thing for the interest rate. Now, here you have to be careful because this has a formula in it. In this case, you really want to copy the formula instead, because you're not referencing a value. It comes out a little bit different. If I say equal this, okay, it will always equal this, and it shouldn't equal that because we have other things to consider. So you really want to, and what I'll do is I'll do a Control Z to undo that, zip. So we really want to copy that, paste that. Now the reason it's coming out to be 0, we don't have an interest rate here. Well, again, a relative reference. The interest this month is equal to the same as it was last month. Now this looks correct. Now we earn 13 cents. At this point, we should be able to select, we should have all our formulas. Okay, we should have this formula that shows everything we earned in the last month, bring it down to start this month, put the new earnings this month. So we should be able to take these values, copy them, and paste them down here. Okay. Now when I pasted, I didn't highlight the whole range, but if I copied 4 columns and I say paste, it's going to paste 4 columns again. As you can see, we earn a little bit more interest each month. Our balance gets a little bit higher. The principal stays the same. Okay, this is a good time to save this. Now, according to my instructions, it says beginning in January of 2015, interest rates go up. The annual interest rate now jumps from 3% to 14%. Maybe we changed from a savings account to mutual refunds or international stocks, don't know. But now instead of being the old rate, it's the new rate. So it's now equals to 0.14 divided by 12. And that's 14% divided by 12. And what you'll notice, all the ones after that changed, and the reason those changed automatically, because the formulas are relative to say whatever the one above it is. Okay? It didn't use the same number, it didn't use the same formula, it just said do what the one above it did. The one above it just said copy it. Okay? So that's good there. And as you can see, we're starting to make a little more interest here. At this point now, we can copy all 5 rows. Here's where it gets tricky. You only have a couple of minutes. You need to paste this down to, I don't know, 400 or 500. It's going to be a long time until we reach that $1 million mark. However, if we go through in June of 2000, okay, so here's June of 2015. Where is it? 2000. January 2000, yes, okay, and then in June of 2000. I got the wrong year here, don't I? Oh no, I'm just in the wrong spot. Okay, so there's January change. There's June of 15. What happens here? Okay, we graduated from college, got a little bit better paying job, and are now contributing $50 a month. Again, notice when I changed this one value, because we had relative formulas, all the other formulas changed. And then, we're still a community college, okay? And then now in June of 2018, let's find June of 2018, there it is. It says in 2018 we have an even better paying job, so we're going to change our contributions from $50 to $100. And then in 2020, we've got our master's degree, and we're graduating, and this is now changing to $300 per year. Good time to save it. Now we want to go and scroll down until we reach that $1 million mark. And here it is, the $1 million mark. And everything after the $1 million mark, we no longer need. So we can highlight all these extra cells and just right click and say delete the rows. All we need to